you're going to want to watch this video to the end, because I'm going to be sharing with you why you should stop and think again before you publish on Amazon KDP. And by the end of this video, you're going to have at least 7 reasons why you should stop using Amazon KDP. Who am I to talk about Amazon KDP? How many books have I written? Well, for your information, I've written about 17 books in my name on Amazon KDP, and I've helped lots of other people write and publish their books, not only on Amazon KDP, but on several other platforms and independently using vanity publishers and even traditional publishers. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today is no theory. I'm going to be sharing with you what I have discovered in my personal journey of being an author of over 17 books for the past 8 years. This conversation is not in any way targeted at Amazon KDP or the branding Amazon KDP, but rather it's targeted at you who is listening to me today, who has a book that you would love to publish, or who has already published a book on Amazon KDP and you have not made any sales in the past 1, 2, 3 days, or in the past 1 to 4 weeks. Or maybe you're listening to this, you've not made more than 10 sales in a year and you have books on Amazon KDP. You're leaving money on the table, and by the end of today's conversation, you'll know exactly how to take all those monies that you've been leaving on the table and put them back into your pocket. And so that's the goal of today's communication, to put those monies back into your pocket, to put those monies that you've been losing because you're depending heavily and solely on Amazon KDP, and get them back into your bank account. Now, if this sounds good, hit the like button and watch this video to the end. Many years ago, before you could publish a book, you needed a traditional publisher, you needed a publishing contract, and Amazon KDP came on the scene and they made it possible for authors to get their books published without having a publishing contract. And the idea is that when you publish your book on Amazon KDP, it only gets printed on demand, or it gets read by people who have the Kindle device or who want to read it as a Kindle book. And then after each sale is made, you get to split profit. If it's an ebook, you get to split profit 70-30. And if it's a paperback book or a hardcover book, you get to split profits 40-60%. Now, initially, that makes sense, especially if you are completely unknown and you don't know anything. You don't know the first thing about publishing. And that was my story. When I wrote my first book, I was looking for a way to get my message out there, to get my message to the world. And I wanted it to be possible for people on the other side of the Atlantic to get my books without having to print and ship or handle the logistics myself. Now, the first reason why you should stop depending on Amazon KDP is because it limits your price. Now, on Amazon KDP, they limit how much you can sell your books because they want to make it so that almost anybody can buy a book on the platform. Now, you have to understand that Amazon is a business. It's a billion-dollar company, right? So they make billions of dollars from their e-commerce platform. And so they do things only in their interest and in the interest of their customers. That is, people who are actually going to buy products off Amazon. They prioritize people who are going to buy products off Amazon, and they prioritize their own business over you. So if you're an author and you're writing books and you like to make money from your book, you want to prioritize yourself and think about yourself before you think about any other thing. I know there's a lot of talk about thinking about the problems of your reader, the problems of your customers when you're writing a book. But when you're talking about the business side of your book, the details, the logistics, and the publishing, you want to think about your business. You want to think about your book and the business side of your book before you make key decisions. Now, why would you want to give a platform that makes billions of dollars yearly the control over how you set your price when you don't have a stake over how they set their price? How can you allow a billion-dollar company tell you how much to sell your books when you don't tell them how much to sell their products or how much to sell their service? That already puts you at a disadvantage as an author, right? Because as an author, you're supposed to have full control of this pricing structure of your book. If you're publishing your book as an ebook on Amazon KDP, you're limited to selling it for $9.99, right? And you could actually sell this for $27 if you were selling it on your own platform, right? So that is one reason why you should not depend on Amazon KDP when publishing your book. The same thing applies for when you're publishing the paperback edition of a book. it limits how much you can sell for. Now, there are ways that you can, work around this, and I'm going to talk about it in the later end of today's conversation. So stick with me so that you get everything that you could possibly get from today's conversation. Now, the second reason why you should not depend on Amazon KDP for publishing your book is that it limits your profit. Now, one of the reasons why most authors are broke is that they publish on Amazon KDP and then they go to sleep. That is a terrible business idea, because from a business perspective, the amount of profit you could make on a copy of your book is largely limited because you're publishing on the platform. So they own, the rights to tell you how much you earn. So after they deduct the printing cost and the shipping cost, they give you, and then they take their own percentage. They leave you with what is left, which is not much, right? It's okay if you're just starting out, but there's more opportunities out there for you to make more money from your book if you're not depending on Amazon KDP. And maybe you're listening to me and you're wondering, so are you saying that I shouldn't publish my books on Amazon KDP? Well, that's up to you, but I recommend that even when you publish on Amazon KDP, you want to have your own platform. And I'll talk about that briefly after I show you how leaving your books on Amazon KDP and going to sleep is costing you massively. Now, the next reason I'm going to give you is that it limits your market proportion. Now, Amazon KDP is a beautiful platform, as you may have heard already, but there's a limit to how many people you can reach on the platform. Why? Because you have 7,500 ebooks that are published on that platform every day, and that equates to about 2.7 million books being published on the platform yearly, right? And so it means your book competes with 2.7 million books every year. And guess what? They have tens of millions of books on the platform now. Would you want to put your book on a place where it has to compete for attention with millions of other books, or you would like to put your book in a place where it gets all the attention that it could possibly get, and you can control your price, you can control your profit, you can control your market proportion? And that brings us to number four reason why you should not publish your book on Amazon KDP, or why you should not depend on Amazon KDP to publish your book. The fourth reason is that it limits your people. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about your leads, right? Your book is more than just a book that should be bought off the shelf. Your book is supposed to be a lead generation machine. And what is a lead? A lead is someone who raises up his hand and tells you, hey, I'm interested in what it is you talk about or what it is you have to sell, and I'm willing to give you my email and my name or my phone number so that you can give me more information consistently about this subject. And so when you get a client or you get a customer that you've not met before, maybe online, you're doing some marketing, and you send them to Amazon to buy your book, you are sending your leads to Amazon. That person ends up getting your book, and you end up getting maybe $10, $12 in exchange, or $3, $6 in exchange. But Amazon gets the contact details, the name, the address, and everything possible about that customer, leaving you with just peanuts. But the purpose of business is not necessarily to sell your book. The purpose of writing a book should be more than just selling your books. The real goal of writing a book should be to acquire customers, right? Or to acquire leads. But when you publish solely on Amazon and you depend on Amazon, you publish your book on Amazon and you go to sleep, you're limiting your people, right? And that's a very suboptimal way to do it. Now, the next reason I'm going to give you why you should not depend solely on Amazon for the sales of your book is that it limits your retention power. And this is similar to the first point, in that after someone buys something from you, when you have that person's information and the person has actually paid to get something from you, it means that that person is a paying customer. It means that you can actually sell more things to that person. But when you send the person to Amazon and you don't have the person's information, it means that you've lost that lead and you potentially lose the ability to sell more stuff to that person or to educate that person more on how to better use your product. And so that means you're losing retention power, right? Even if you don't get to sell to that person, but just sending an email to that person to give the person more information about what you do and about how they can benefit more from the product they bought from you is going to increase that person's loyalty and make the person a loyal customer. But you lose that ability when you send all your customers and you send all your leads to Amazon to buy from you. Now, there's a solution to that, however, although this is not the best solution, but it's definitely better than nothing at all. And the solution is for you to have in your book, to have a way for people to redirect to your website. You want to add maybe a video, an audio, a PDF, a cheat sheet, a worksheet that will be of value and that will cause them to go to your page, your web page or landing page, put in their name and their emails to get that PDF or cheat sheet in exchange for their names and email. That's one way to do it. But even at that, not everybody who buys your book of Amazon will go to a website that they find inside your book or to a web URL or to a web address or to a landing page they found linked in your book. Not everybody will do that. So you're still going to be losing retention power and you're still going to be losing the people that you should be getting in your funnel as leads. So if you'd like me to do a more deep dive into what it means to get leads as an author, or how you can generate more leads as an author using your book, you can drop a comment in the comment section and indicate that you would love a video on this. Tell me if you would love an episode on this, and I'll go ahead and do an episode that will break this down even further. Does that sound good? Now, I'm going to tell you another reason why you should not publish your books on Amazon, and that brings me to number 6. It limits your niche partition. Now, there's something on Amazon KDP called keywords that most times you have to figure out. If you want to publish your book in the right niche, you need to figure out your keywords. You need to figure out the categories where you want to publish your book in, and it's really complicated. It's very, very complex, and for a first-time author it can be really, really overwhelming. And even for an author who has published before, it can be really, really daunting to figure out the right categories, the right subcategories that you should publish your book in. It's also daunting to figure out the right keywords. And all of these are things that, Amazon algorithm looks at in order to figure out who to show your book to, and in order to figure out the niche or the sub-niche that your book should be serving. And in addition to that, you are limited because the categories on Amazon it can only be so much. It can never cover all the niches that there are in the world. And so sometimes when your niche is not available or is not categorized in the categories available on the platform, it limits you to how much you can actually target your readers, right? This is something that you can avoid if you also have your own platform, because your best niche is you. Your best niche is your platform. The best way to identify your niche is by having your platform and having conversations with the marketplace to figure out what exactly the problems they are looking to solve are, and figure out where they hang out. And you cannot do this if you depend solely on Amazon KDP to sell your books or to get your books out there. Now, like I've said before, there's nothing wrong if you still feel like leaving your books on Amazon KDP, but I'll recommend that you don't make it your sole way of getting your book sold. I'll recommend that you don't depend solely on it. I recommend that you have something to support that. I recommend that you have your own platform where you send your own readers to, where you send your own customers to, where you send your own leads to get your book, to get their information in exchange from whatever they are buying from you, or to get some free value from you. And you can even help them in a deeper level and in a more intimate level beyond just having them buy your book for a couple dollars and leaving them confused afterwards with no form of guidance, with no form of interaction, with no form of communication beyond them just reading your book. What people are looking for now is not just information, but transformation. And the best way to provide transformation for your readers as an author is to have a way to reach out to them and to give them a way for them to also reach out to you, where there can be a two-way communication even when they are reading your book, where they can learn from you, read your emails, where they can reply your emails and tell you what they are feeling, and even give you feedback and give you reviews on what they found valuable while reading your book. And then the seventh reason why you should not depend on Amazon to publish your book is that it limits your market penetration. What do I mean by this? You see, on Amazon KDP, they don't show your books to everybody who possibly should read your book or get your book. And they do that to incentivize you to, run ads on the platform known as Amazon marketing, right? So they use that to incentivize you so that you can pay for ads and run ads on their platform. So when you put your book on Amazon, your book will not get shown to everybody possible, except you run ads. And even when you run ads on Amazon platform, you end up wasting money and burning money, because they will end up showing your book to the wrong people and they'll charge you for that ad, even when people who view the ad end up not buying the book. That really limits you and causes you to lose money, right? Now, what do you think about this idea? You're the author and you're going to write a book. You write your book, you put in the work to write your book, get it edited, get it formatted, get the cover design, and get it published. You do all the hard work, and then you put your book on the platform and you split profits with Amazon, because they allow you to put your book on their platform and they help you print your books. But they still don't show your books to the right people. They don't show your books to the people who desire to read your book, except you pay more money to market it. And after paying more money to market your books on the platform, they still end up splitting profits with you. Well, I don't know what that looks like for you, but for me, I feel like if they are going to share in the profits, then they should be helping you market the books by showing it to the right people without you having to pay so much to market it on the platform, right? So if you are going to market anyway, why don't you have your own platform and pay for marketing with Facebook ads or YouTube ads, and be rest assured that when someone sees your ad and buys your book, you get to keep the profits and pay for the ad costs, right? But on Amazon, you're going to pay for ad costs. You're going to also split the profit. You're going to also pay for printing and pay for all the other logistics, right? But if you're doing it on your platform, you'll be able to pay for ad costs, and for every sale you make, you get to keep the profits afterwards. That makes more sense to me, in my opinion. Now, what do you think about that? Tell me in the comment section what you think about that idea. So these are the 7 reasons why you should stop depending on Amazon KDP to get sales, because at the end of the day, even when you put your book on that platform or any other platform, you end up not getting sales. You end up broke like a joke and ready to choke. Even though you have potential to make millions from your book idea, you end up leaving so much money on the table, and it does not have to be that way. I'm going to go over the different strategies on how to overcome all these different problems that you find on the platform Amazon KDP when you publish. So, how to overcome. Number 1, have your platform. Number 2, have your sales page or sales process. Have your sales process. Have your sales process. Number 3, have a way of generating leads. And then number 4, have a marketing strategy. Now, when you have all of these different components dialed in, there's one more thing that I recommend you do, and that would be to use Amazon KDP as a support. And if you have all of this in place, you can even get orders for your book from your platform, whether it's a website, whether it's a sales funnel, whether it's a landing page, and fulfill those orders using Amazon KDP. And how do you do that? You can do that by ordering author copies on Amazon KDP and shipping it as a gift to whoever places an order on your platform. That way you can put the address of whoever placed the order on your platform into the Amazon shipping platform, such that when they're shipping, they ship to that person's address instead of your address. And that way you get to have the contact of whoever bought your book, and you can always remarket to them. You can always send emails to them. Even if all you send to them is a thank you email, that's something. That's worth more than just leaving your book on Amazon and going to sleep and hoping that someone somewhere will buy it and like it and do something about it, right? Don't leave your book business to chance by depending solely on Amazon KDP, because that is costing you money, it's costing you connections, it's costing you relationships, it's costing you customer retention and customer ascension capabilities. I hope this blessed you. I'm going to stop here for now. Watch out for my other episodes that are going to do a deeper dive into how to actually sell your books like an expert and make lots of money from selling your books, even if you're just starting out. Thank you for listening and have a good one. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.